All right, let's talk about healthcare. In this explainer, we're going to look at it through two totally different lenses. One system is all about extraction, and the other, it's about circulation. So yeah, let's dive right in.
You know that feeling when dealing with healthcare just feels like a battle? It's a fight for an appointment, a fight over some bill, a fight just to get the care you actually need. Why is it like that?
Well, according to the source materials we're digging into, this isn't an accident. It's not a bug, it's a feature. All that friction, that competition, the sheer frustration, it's all part of a system that was designed from the ground up for one thing, profit, not necessarily for our health.
Okay, so to really get this, we need to pop the hood on the current model. The source material has a name for it, the profit-promoting system. And we're going to break down exactly how this thing is built to operate. And here it is. This is the blueprint. The source calls it the profit-promoting healthcare stakeholder circuit. Now, I know it looks a little complicated, but the core idea is actually pretty simple. It runs on something called wealth extraction. Basically, value gets pulled out of the system, and we're about to see exactly how and where that happens. So where does it all start? With employer-centered access. And here's the kicker. The source argues that tying insurance to your job isn't just a nice perk. It's a strategic move. It takes you, the patient, completely out of the loop when it comes to negotiating cost or quality. It turns healthcare into something you get with a job, not something you have a right to. And this is where things get really messy. The biggest, most damaging result of this design, it actually pits patients against their own doctors. Think about it. These are the two people who should be on the same team, right? But in this system, they're forced into financial competition. You're trying to get the best care, and your doctor is trying to stay afloat while dealing with whatever payment targets the insurers set. It's a built-in conflict. This chart just lays it all out, crystal clear. Look at the insurance company's goals: maximum profits, control the market, get bigger. And then look at what patients and doctors are dealing with, just trying to survive financially, dealing with restricted services, and getting worse health outcomes because of it. Their goals aren't just different, they're in direct opposition. And that brings us right back to this key idea: wealth extraction. So all the money made from this messy, complicated system, where does it go? It doesn't get reinvested into better care or lower premiums for you. Nope. It gets siphoned off, pulled away from you and your doctor, and used to make the system itself more powerful, to build bigger monopolies. It's like the system is feeding itself, not the people it's supposed to serve. Okay, so that's a pretty grim picture of the problem, right? But it's not the whole story. What's the alternative? Let's switch gears and look at a totally new blueprint for healthcare. The source calls this one the Build Better model. And wow, this really puts the two side by side. On the left, that's the hamster wheel of competition and extraction we've been talking about. But on the right, that's something else entirely. It's a circuit built on cooperation and circulation. We're talking about a complete, fundamental change in how the whole thing flows. So here's the blueprint for that Build Better alternative. Just look at it. You can see the difference right away, can't you? The whole thing is flipped around. The arrows are pointing in new directions. Because the goal here isn't to pull value out. It's to strengthen that core relationship between the patient and the provider. That's the foundation for everything else. And this huge shift, it all starts with how you get access in the first place. We go from employer-centered, where you're on the sidelines, to patient-centered. Now you're in the game. You're part of the conversation about cost and quality. And healthcare stops being just a perk and becomes what the source calls a community solidarity outcome. That's a powerful idea. It means my health is tied to your health. We're all in it together. This is a total game changer for doctors, too. Imagine this. Their pay isn't tied to hitting some arbitrary target set by an insurance company. Instead, it's based on keeping their practice sustainable and having a patient load they can actually handle. That conflict of interest we talked about, it's gone. Now doctors can focus on you, the patient, instead of just focusing on billing codes. Okay, this all sounds good in theory, but what does it actually do? What's the so what? What are the real-world effects of a system that circulates value instead of just extracting it? Let's get into it. It basically creates this amazing positive feedback loop. Step 1, you cut out all the administrative junk from the old system, which frees up a ton of money and people's time. Step 2, that wealth doesn't get sucked out of the system. It flows right back in, making doctors' offices stronger and the community healthier.
And step 3, that circulation makes the whole system stronger, so it can actually expand to cover people who are being left behind. And this quote from the source really just nails it. Healthcare is a community solidarity outcome. It's not just me paying for a service. It's about all of us as a community saying that everyone's well-being matters. But hold on, because the vision here is even bigger than just fixing what's broken. The ultimate goal is to completely change what the system even produces, to move beyond just chasing profit and toward creating something much, much more valuable. And that's innovation. So let's think about it. If the old system's final product is just profit for a handful of companies, what's the final product of this new system? Well, the source says it's something totally different, a new kind of capital. And they call it leisure capital. Now, that might sound a little strange, but it's a powerful idea. It's all the extra time, the mental energy, and the resources that are freed up when people aren't constantly fighting the system. It's the leftover energy that we can then use to fuel real, actual progress. And this chart shows us exactly where that new energy goes. It's not just sitting there. It gets reinvested into things that matter. Real innovation, like new tech and better treatments. It goes into proactive, preventative care so people don't get sick in the first place. And it gives us the freedom to experiment with brand new, better ways of delivering healthcare.
So let's just put it all together in one final comparison. The profit-promoting circuit, its goal is profit, its method is extraction, and its outcome is monopoly. The Build Better circuit, its goal is that leisure capital we talked about. Its method is circulation, and its outcome is innovation and equity. These aren't just two options. They're two completely different destinations.
And that leaves us with one last really big question to chew on. Extraction or circulation? Which one of these engines should be powering our health? Do we want a system that just extracts wealth to make itself bigger, or one that circulates it to create a healthier, more innovative future for all of us? That's the choice this analysis puts on the table.